Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Let's inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth a few times. Let the body do whatever it feels like. Okay, plant the feet somewhere underneath the hips, and let's just roll the shoulders. So we'll inhale forward and up. Exhale back and down. Go with your breath. And let's change direction. Inhale back and up. Exhale forward. Change direction again, rolling back. Okay, relax, relax, relax. Engage through the legs. Let's keep working with the shoulders and we'll add the arms. Big circles. Inhale, coming forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Go with the breath. And now we'll change direction. So we'll inhale as we go back and up. Exhale, forward and down. This is little Artemis, the newest addition to our family. She's 6 years old. Okay, we'll change it again, going back. All right, shake it out. One more thing for the shoulders, shoulder shrugs. So we'll inhale, squeeze them. Exhale, we can exhale through the mouth and just let the shoulders drop. Let's do a few. One more. Okay, loosen up, loosen up. Let's work on the legs and feet a little bit. So we'll have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. So the toes of the back foot around the ankle of the front foot. And the feet about hip distance apart. So we still have a nice strong base. And we'll just inhale up on the toes. Exhale the heels down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And once we have this going, we can add the arms. Inhale, just float the arms up. Exhale, float the arms down. Okay, let's bring the back leg. We'll bring the knee up. Catch it if we can. Flex the foot. Now make your standing leg strong. Push into the floor a little more with the standing leg. So see if we can straighten out that standing leg. And we'll take 3 more breaths. And now we'll open the leg up. Three breaths. And then find a tree pose. You can place the foot anywhere on the leg. And then once you have the foot, squeeze the leg and the foot together. Press out through the knee, whatever you like with the arms. Two more. And come out of it. Okay, we'll start the whole thing on the other side. So make sure you put the feet the other way. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, the toes of the back foot around the ankle of the front foot, feet about hip distance. We inhale, since we know it now, you can go right away with the arms. We inhale up on the toes, arms up. Exhale, float the heels down, arms down. So we're also training ourselves to move with the breath. As we know, the breath is the vehicle for our life force energy, according to yoga and Chinese medicine. One more. Okay, the back leg comes up. So we grab the knee if we can, flex the foot. Strengthen your standing leg, press down into the floor, and we breathe. When you're ready, open up. Here's Luna. And make it a tree. Take your time. We don't have to put the leg as high as possible. Anywhere that's comfortable, you can even have the toes on the floor. And the important thing for today is to squeeze the foot and the leg together. Press out through the knee. Okay, come out of it. Shake it out. Let's place ourselves at the top of the mat. Shoulders back and down. We can open the palms up facing forward, and we'll just take a few breaths before we start the sun salutations. When you're ready, inhale, open up. Exhale, fold. And somewhere on the legs, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Let's do a few. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling as we fold. Next time we fold, hands to earth, step back to plank. Take a breath or two, knees up or down. Let's lower knees, chest, chin. Flatten the feet and kind of shift the hips so you can feel the hip bones connecting. Tuck the elbows in. Let's do a few cobra up, down. So we inhale up, exhale down. Just go with our breath. Lifting as much or as little as feels good for today. Okay, let's take it either to a child's pose somewhere here or a downward facing dog somewhere here. In either position, you can add movement. And always let out a sigh. Okay, let's make our way to all fours. So bring the hands underneath the shoulders. If you're having any wrist issues, you can always go on the fists instead, or the fingertips, or you fold up your mat a few times and then put the base of your wrist on the fold of the mat. All right, let's work on the spine. So we'll do a few cat-cows. Inhale the crown and tail up. Exhale, round the back. Go with our breath. Okay, we'll come back to center. So we'll add a leg. So we'll inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, knee to chest towards the forehead. Do a few. Okay, let's switch sides. Perfect. Come back to center. Stretch out your mat if it was folded. Child's pose, or if you prefer, down dog. If you're doing the child's pose, make sure your head is supported. So if it doesn't hit the floor, use a block. In child's pose, you can have the knees together or apart, whatever you prefer. At least 5 breaths. Okay, we'll get ready for warrior one and pyramid. So if you have blocks, they might come in handy, but if you don't worry. So we'll get into it either from all fours or downward facing dog, the one you prefer. And when you're ready, extend the leg you want to step forward. And with an exhale, bring that foot towards the hands. Worry about how far it gets. And we'll place the other foot down at an angle, a little towards the outside of the mat. And again, if you have your blocks, maybe bring them closer. Okay. And then finally, we'll come up. So you can have your blocks on either side. I'm just putting them on the outside for now so they don't get in the way. So nice distance between the feet. Front leg bent. We're starting with warrior one. Back leg strong, and whatever you feel like with the arms. Hands to hips. Straighten the leg. Now we can put the blocks in place. Either side of the leg. Although you might not use them at all, you might keep the hands on the hips. You see what you like. Pyramid. We inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, start to tilt from those hips. So let's take our time. This is going to be a longer hold anyway, so there's really no rush. The hip of the front leg moves back, the hip of the back leg moves forward. And we find the position comfortable for the torso. So maybe we'll get to parallel to the earth. Maybe you'll get to a point where you want to use the blocks instead of the hands on the hips. You can also just have your hands on the legs. That's something else I like to do. And if you're really comfortable, you can keep going the belly towards the thigh. So find what works for you for today. And we're aiming for about 10 breaths. One of the benefits of this pose is calming the mind. And of course, it also gives a nice stretch. Okay, when you're ready, inhale, lifting up through the chest. Bend the front knee. We're going into our warrior three prep. So we walk the blocks forward. And if you don't have the blocks, hands on the floor. So we make like a tripod with the two blocks in the front foot. Shift the weight and lift that back leg. Trying to keep it as high as the hip. Both legs strong. Okay. Bring the leg down. Go into a forward fold. We'll just sneak one more thing. We'll do a little twist. We'll do both sides so we don't have to remember which side. Okay, so we'll place a block in front of one foot and bend that leg. So hand on the block. You can have the block whatever height you like. Leg bent. Opposite leg straight. And we'll twist towards the straight leg. Two more. Okay, let's switch sides. So slide the block over in front of the other. Hand on the block. Bend that leg. Other leg is straight. And when you're ready, open up. Okay, come out of it. So have your blocks ready for the other side. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. Lower, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come down, and let's take it into a sphinx. So forearms to the earth. Kind of drag the forearms towards the body. Lift up through the heart and the crown, and at least 5 breaths. Okay, child's pose or downward facing dog. It'll be about 5 breaths before we go into the other side. Okay, when you're ready, inhale, lift the other leg. Exhale, foot towards the hands. Back foot comes down. And we come up. And once you're up, you might want to widen the feet a little. So we start with the warrior one. Find the bend you want in the front leg. Back leg is strong, and whatever you feel like with the arms. Okay, hands to hips, straighten the leg. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, start to tilt forward. So this part can take as long as we like. If you feel like you get to a point where you'd prefer the hands on the blocks, you just grab the blocks. You can also use the support of your own leg if you don't have the blocks. We can think like each inhale, the spine gets longer. Each exhale, the belly towards the thigh. But you can also pause anywhere. You don't have to keep bending. So see what works for you, and let's hang out a little. Okay, warrior 3 prep. We bend the front knee. Take the blocks forward, or the hands if you don't have blocks. Make a tripod. Shift the weight into the front foot. Lift the back leg just hip high, both legs engaged. Let's breathe into it. Okay, lower that foot. Ah. Relax into a forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you like, just 2 or 3 breaths. And let's come down into a squat. So today we'll do the balancing squat. So we'll bring the feet together. We can have the hands on the floor or the blocks. Start to bend the knees. Eventually the heels will come off the floor. So keeping your hands on the blocks or the floor, just try to like squeeze your ankles towards one another. Now think to ourselves, we want the thighs to be parallel to the earth. So if the hands are on the floor and we have the blocks, maybe we can lift up to the blocks. Keep squeezing the ankles together, and then we see if maybe we have enough stability to bring the hands into prayer. 2 more. Okay, let's help ourselves to sit down. Woo! All right, I don't think we'll need the blocks again, so they can go off to the side. And let's do our seated twist. So one leg extended, one leg bent, either inside or outside. Interlace. Long, deep breaths. Take it into the twist, twisting towards the bent leg. Okay, come back to center. If the leg is outside, if the foot's outside the leg, bring it back inside. Ground the foot into the floor, long leg still engaged. Bring the arm inside the knee, and other outside hand can come somewhere to the earth for balance. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale the arm up, inside arc, lengthen. And then we'll exhale, hold. Now, the bent leg, see if you can squeeze the knee into the shoulder. I'll just take a few breaths here. You can even let the back round. If it's comfortable, the hands could come to the leg or the foot. The back hand can also stay on the earth for balance. So hug in the bent leg towards the shoulder and a few more. Okay, come out of it. Let's start the whole thing on the other side. So we'll start with the twist. So the foot either inside or outside. Interlace. Long, deep breaths. Long spine. Relax those shoulders. Take it into the twist. And when you're ready, back to center. If the foot's outside the leg, put it back inside the leg. Ground down through the foot. So the outer hand just comes to the floor to help us with balance. The inner arm goes inside the knee. Inhale, up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. So we can let the back around. You can hold on to the leg, the foot, or the hand on the floor. So the important thing is this knee, squeeze it in towards the shoulder. And then if you find a position that's comfortable, maybe the back hands can come forward. So we can let the back around and we'll breathe. Okay, let's come out of it. So we're going to continue with the back rounding positions. So the feet come together, but a very wide diamond. So a lot of space between the pelvis and the feet. So tortoise. We'll bring the hands under the calves. And as we continue into the pose, you can maybe keep moving the arms forward and get the forearms under the calf. So we'll see what happens. So we want to hold this one a little longer to give the spine time to relax. And there's really nothing to it. We just let ourselves round, round, round. Let the head be heavy. So we might see if we can hold this for a couple minutes. If it's really uncomfortable, you could just come onto your back and take your knees into your chest. Or come onto your back and do more of a happy baby, holding onto the soles of the feet, inviting the knees towards the floor. But whatever you choose, make sure it's still really relaxed. So no effort here. Just let the head get heavy. Find any tension, let it go. Okay, let's very slowly, like slower than you think is possible, start to roll up. As you come up, if the forearms are under the legs, that they can pull back. So it ends up being the hands. And we want the head to come up very last. Okay. Bring the knees together. Let's come down onto the back. If there's anything you need for relaxation, grab it. And I think we will use the blocks. We'll use the blocks a little for the relaxation. If you don't have blocks, what we're going to do is take the same position we were just in and support under the legs. So if you don't have blocks, you could use firm blankets or pillows or, yeah, find what you have. And if you don't have anything or you don't want to get stuff, totally cool. You can just go right into the regular relaxation and just skip that part. Okay, so if you do have blocks, have them either side. We'll just do a couple of things before we go into the relaxation. So I'll wait to put mine on both sides. Let's do our usual twisted stuff. So come on down, knees to chest. Just take a little moment, squeezing in. Okay, we'll do a dead bug, but like a lazy one. So we'll stretch the arms up, legs up. You can absolutely have the legs bent if you prefer. Opposite arm, opposite leg extends and then comes back. I like to inhale when I'm in the middle, exhale as I extend, but whatever feels good for you. Okay, feet to the floor. Grab onto those elbows. Make sure you have room beside you. Inhale, center. Exhale towards one side. Inhale, center. Elbows right over the shoulders. Exhale towards the other side. And we'll just go side to side. You can let the opposite shoulder lift and we can let the head roll. So let it be a very lazy, relaxed movement. Next time we come to center, exhale towards the head. And do a few in this direction. Next time we come to center, change the posture of the arms. So whatever arm is in the front, put it in the back. And then we go side to side again. Inhaling center, exhaling over. Inhaling center, exhaling over. Relax. the neck, the head. Next time we come to center, exhale towards the head. I'll do these for a while. Okay, once you're happy with that, come out of it. Let's go into any version of twists that you enjoy. All right, we'll come back to center. So let's set up for relaxation. So if you want to do the open leg relaxation, you just take your supports, so blocks or pillows or whatever you have, blankets. Bring the feet together, the soles of the feet together. Open up and make sure your support is high enough that it's really comfortable. So it's always better to start like a little bit too high, and then we can lower it if we want, versus starting a little too low. So find the position that feels well supported and comfortable. Like if it's digging in, it won't really be a good relaxation. If you're using blocks and they're like too hard, you could try to put them on an angle, or you could put a blanket on top. And if you're not liking this position, no big deal. You just do a regular relaxation with the feet on the floor, knees bent, or legs extended. You could also just do this for like half the time and then extend your legs for the other half. Okay, so all the rest of the usual stuff, we tuck the chin in, forehead slopes down, shoulder blades tuck under the back. And of course, we give ourselves permission to relax. Reminding ourselves that this is the most important pose in our whole practice. By allowing ourselves to relax fully, we're able to integrate all of our efforts. So let's consciously let ourselves let everything go. On the physical plane, feel the weight of the legs. Let them get heavier. Feel the weight of the pelvis, rib cage, shoulders, arms, and head. Ever you need to make adjustment, go right ahead. start to very, 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 very gently wake the body. So we can do that by deepening the breath. If you're in the open leg position, gently bend the knees. And let's give ourselves a full body stretch. Once you're nice and stretched, knees to chest. We'll do a few double knee tucks. So inhale the knees away, exhale to the chest. Do a few. We can rock side to side. And finally, all the way to one side, the right side if you have room. Rest the head, take a breath or two. Now, with the strength of the arms, press. We'll make our way into any comfortable seated position. If you have your blocks, you can even sit on a block. Now let's close with a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing. So this is my right hand. Use your right hand. First two fingers on the third eye. Thumb closes the right nostril. Inhale left. Little finger closes left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. I'll guide one more. In right. Out left. In left. Out right. Do a few more rounds on our own. Close with an exhale through the right nostril. Relax the hand. Take a few breaths, both nostrils. Relaxing into all that. If you like, we can close with a bow, showing our appreciation, gratitude for the practice, ourselves, and each other. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.